Officer Shock?
Yes.
Hello, Officer Shock. Hey, Officer Shock, I have you on the phone here with Pat. He's one of the attorneys for RSA.
Hello.
Hello, officer, and I know you've been talking to Dan Green, who's one of my colleagues as well.
Yes.
So one of the things that the officer and I have both kind of understood is like the dispute right now between this employee and the securing of his personal property. He's trying to get all the things that were inside the bag that cannot be immediately identifiable or confirmed to belong to the company. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now, my question for you, Pat, is there any type of document that all the employees are expected to sign, like a non-disclosure form or anything that says like any type of like digital media would be subject to search or review by the company?
Can I merge in my colleague Dan Green, who was talking to Officer Shock before, so that we can just make sure everybody converges to this? Do you mind?
Sure.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, hang on. He might be in the building,
Oh, is he?
and I could probably grab him. Hang on. Let me see if I can find him.
So he's, Dan Green is, okay. It looks like Dan Green let's forget about Dan Green. That's okay. It looks like he's on another call anyways with the folks there. So, Amos, can you ask that again? In terms of, are you looking for documentation in regards to the particular devices?
Correct. Well, at issue, right, is the laptop and the car are clearly belonging to the company. So the officer doesn't have...
Can I have the gentleman that I've been in here with? Yes. Can you grab him? I have a manager from the company coming in to join us, the one that called us in the first place. So maybe he can give us some information about if that document exists. Are you guys there? Okay.
Right, so, I mean, Pat, do you understand what I'm talking about? As far as, like, typically, I mean, is there any type of form that you know of that the company may have?
Do you have a consent or a disclosure or an agreement through your company for employees to sign maybe when they first get hired that say all electronic materials in this company is liable to search or anything like that you know of?
And you heard that whole question. Okay.
Yeah, I think we've got,
specifically have them sign that, but it's part of our employee resource manual.
Right. So Officer Shock, I think it's a safe assumption that if this employee in question has employee identification, it means that he's been hired by this company. It infers that he's already signed some type of agreement. So as long as someone from HR or a representative of the company speaking on behalf of the company can show documentation that this is a boilerplate agreement that all employees must sign, in which case you have the HR rep there, that infers an agreement, which it is not for you. I mean, and I'm not putting this once again, sir. I'm not directing you in any way, but I'm saying like legally, there's no dispute legally at this time because this isn't the venue for that. That's something that would be litigated on another venue, right? Like you and I both, sir, are enforcement of criminal matters, right? Me federally, you locally. So like we're kind of taking a step back from this now because any dispute to be had between the employee and this company are strictly civil basis, and it would be for the employee and for their attorneys to hash out. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. So I've already spoke to this guy, so I know how he's going to react to all this information. If we say, based on your employee handbook, any of your USB drives or any of your property can be looked at by the company, and he says no, like, yeah, that might be, but I don't consent to anybody searching my bag. Well, then that's it for me. I'm not searching anybody's bag because the company said that it's in the employee handbook.
Well, not only that, sir, but like, I don't think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think anyone's asking you to search anything. I think the reason why they called you was because there's a disturbance at the company. Correct?
Yeah, and we've already worked through that. The issue now is we have his bag, and we're trying to get him his bag back with the company keeping what potentially is the company's, and correct. He isn't willing. He just wants to take his bag and leave, right? So that's the problem.
So Pat, what if like anything that could have storable media, can be preserved by the company to hold on to, and they can do that as they deem necessary. And if that gets litigated over, whether, civilly or any other venue, that's something that you're going to have to handle on your side, right, for remediation. I mean, the physical bag itself, I don't think anyone cares about. They can give that back to this employee so he can leave. What are your thoughts?
We want the devices. Those are the devices that belong to the company. And so the physical bag itself is, I don't believe is the issue. It is just a question of having us have those devices.
The bigger issue is the laptop is back at work. We have his work car. We have the work keys. He has his work cell phone at home, but he says his current cell phone that he has right now is has an electronic SIM card, right? So the company can shut off his cell phone that he's carrying right now at any time, or access the data. Hang on, my part.
In the interest of, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The issue is that the company phone.
Go ahead on two.
And so we want the actual phone. I mean that is the company phone, as well as any other USBs that he may have in his possession as well too. So that I think is the nature of this, is that there's
10-4.
anything.
Tell him we'll have this resolved in 5 minutes, no matter what.
But just the physical phone here is property of the company.
I'm sorry, say that again.
The phone itself is what we're looking for too. That is the property of the company.
Yes, I agree, but he's saying that the phone that he has the electronic SIM, his work electronic SIM card is his personally owned cell phone. So if it's a personally owned cell phone and he's using company data through it, essentially, I can't seize his cell phone. He says the cell phone that the company bought him is at his home, and he's more than willing to return that.
Let me ask you this, officer. Who currently has physical possession of the devices in question?
The company has the laptop, and the work cell phone is at his home, but he's using his personal cell phone by using the work's electronic SIM card through it.
Where are his allegedly personal devices? Who currently has physical possession of those devices?
We do. It's sitting right in front of us with the as far as the bag and whatever's in the bag.
Right. Are you in company space?
Yes.
Okay. So this is once again where myself as the officer, I think, should kind of take a step back, right? Because once again, I can't direct anyone to do anything. Okay? But I think it's a reasonable basis to say that if there's an existing employee agreement, I mean, as long as there's an existing employee agreement that shows that somehow this employee signed something that said, any digital media I have may be subject to any type of, review. Do you guys have that?
Yes,
Something signed from him?
Well, if you can show that to the officer so that the officer has confidence that you do, and then the officer can absolve him of what is clearly an internal, quasi-domestic kind of dispute at issue here,
Okay.
So that you're not putting an officer in a space where he's allegedly taking the property that he doesn't know who it belongs to. Because that's really not his. He's really not here for that, right? Am I correct in making that statement, officer?
Yes, and I can verify whatever the employee handbook says or whatever he signed. But if we take his, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Once the officer has shown that statement, then he's like, okay, cool. This is something for these two parties that are disputing to hash out. But he's out.
Yes.
His job is to ensure the safety of employees and the citizens of his jurisdiction.
Yeah, that's right. But there's if he refuses, which I suspect because I've talked to him, I suspect he's going to refuse all giving any property to the company from here on out, as far as anything that's in his bag, which is what the company's interested. I'm not going in his bag to get anything, and nobody's going to do it without his permission. Does that make sense?
That's your position, officer. I can't direct you to do anything. I mean,
well, I know, but
I didn't know this was going to happen today.
I didn't either. Okay, all I'm saying is this is a.
Certainly interested in that front, but is the bag currently in his possession? Because my understanding is that the bag is currently on company property. That it's not in his possession as we currently stand.
Yeah, that's correct.
Right. So then, the company can enforce its own rules.
Right, because we're in a situation where there is clear company property that's inside his work bag that he brought into into our company, and it's there physically right now, and he does not have control over it.
Yes.
So there's no expectation of privacy there, and we would be able to show you, if it would be helpful, that company documentation in regards to our standard policies and procedures about how that no employee has an expectation over company devices which are owned and operated by the company. So that's the issue here, is that it wouldn't make sense for that bag as a whole to be given back to him, because it would be effectively transferring company property outside of the company and giving it to somebody else. And so that's really where we're in this situation here. So, but that's why we're trying to get, right now, it's our position that there wouldn't be a seizure or anything like that if we were able just to have the property that's inside there that belongs to the company.
Okay. As far as his keys go, I mean, keys need to be gotten out of his bag, right? So this is y'all's investigation. This is you guys'. You guys know everything that's going on with this stuff. And like I said before, I'm not trying to dip my hands or go over my head with anything that's happening here. But I also don't want to deprive him of anything that's viably his, right?
So let's go over exactly what needs to be released to this person today so he can go home with his personal property. His keys.
His keys, the keys, the bag itself. What we need are the phone and the USB that are inside the bag.
Okay.
Is that all right, officer?
Hey, this is y'all's show. I'm just here.
Okay. Well, I mean, hey, officer. Like, document it however you want. I appreciate you having this call with us. I completely understand your concerns. But I do think that it is my opinion that, like, also, like, someone needs to show this officer the agreement.
Oh,
Okay.
well, even before that, I think a more simpler question should be, does this employee know he's on investigation?
I notified him. We took the laptop as part of the ongoing investigation.
Does he know he's under criminal investigation?
He's not under criminal investigation. We're not saying that.
Okay, so he's not, but he's under internal company investigation.
Correct.
Okay. You have to be more clear of what's going on here, right? I think that's part of the misunderstanding. Okay, and this is going to be all you. I can't jump into this.
Understood.
You understand what they said.
You're
the company.
Yep.
If you're withholding his property and his stuff based on being in company land,
Yep.
that's you to discuss with him, right? That's a battle between you guys.
No worries.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
So, officer, you get like I get you're there for safety. You're there for the safety of the workplace, right?
Yep.
No one's asking you to do anything. We get that, and I'm not trying to put you in that spot. Nor would I want to be put in that spot. And I kind of feel like in this case maybe the word FBI got dropped, and that's why I'm here too. But I'm not directing anyone to do anything. I'm just trying to like keep the peace and let's work within the reasonable parameters of what's currently in play.
Okay. Mr. FBI agent, can I get your name one more time?
Sure. My name is Amos Tang with the FBI in Baltimore. Do you want my number?
Yes, please.
215-756-5459.
I'm not going to give that to anybody, but
I appreciate that. But even if you did, it is what it is, right?
yeah.
It is what it is.
And Mr. Attorney? Yes, thank you. Mr. Attorney,
Yes,
can I have your name, please?
absolutely. It's Patrick McNally.
Can you spell your last name?
Sure. McNally.
Okay. And who do you work for?
I work for Octillo Law. I can spell that for you. OCTILLO. And then just the word law.
Okay, and a good phone number for you?
Sure. 716-898-2102.
Okay, thank you all very much. We'll get this wrapped up down here.
Hey, officer.
Yes.
Like, I want to make sure that it's at least like for you, it's noted in your report. Someone showed you an agreement between company employees that, that satisfied the explanation from the company to you. And then, hey, this is their basis for doing that. At least that way it counters any type of claim of like wrongful conversion,
Yes.
Like that's not the goal here. The goal, I get you're there because of a public disturbance, and it's unfortunate this guy refuses to leave, and that's unfortunately for you. That's another position that you're going to have to,
Right.
unscramble.
Yeah. No, it's all good. Yep. We're fine, and I'll hand it over to the employees here.
All right.
Okay.
Good luck, officer.
Thanks for talking with me.
So